Hello, everyone, and welcome to Producer's Corner. My name is Simone Baldwin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to have a wonderful discussion this evening with my sister, the Reverend Mynesha J. Rogers. She's going to come on in a few moments, and we're going to have a conversation of her perspective of the season, our first premiere season of 5 Seasons of Love. So thank you everyone who's joining us this evening. Those that are catching the replay, thank you. Just hashtag replay. And if you have any questions or wanted to continue the conversation, just put your question in the comments and I will reach out to you. And thank you everyone who's watching us this evening. If you have any questions or comments, hit us in the comments and we'll bring you on, or just bring your comment on and acknowledge you. So without further ado, I do not want to prolong this. I'm going to bring on my sister, Mynesha J. Rogers. She is an author. She is a sister. She is a mother, not a mother to many in spirit, but she's a sister. She's an auntie, and she's a reverend. Reverend Mynesha J. Rogers. She's an author of the Healing Network. Get your copy, and I'll put the comments in the comment section of her contact details. The Healing Network. It's a wonderful booklet of ushering you and guiding you through your process of healing. So without further ado, here is Mynesha J. Rogers.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I am well, sis. Good evening, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on today. So we're going to get right into it.
Yes.
We're going to get right into it. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful couples.
Yes.
That shared their lives this season on the premiere episode of 5 Seasons of Love. And we had spring, summer, fall, winter, and due season that spoke about their purpose as a married couple and their aha realization of what their life experiences meant to them. So let's go through the couples and let's talk about your takeaway and your perception on what you viewed this season. So we're going to start with the Waltons. So the Waltons is a couple that from the Charleston, South Carolina area. Overall, my perception of this couple was their unique perspective on being really prepared for marriage before even saying I do. They were intentional about knowing each other, going through really the seasons before marriage, so that when they were married, there was no shock into who they married. They were very intentional on going through the seasons beforehand. They were super intentional about just how they handled each other, as far as intentionally being a help to each other and not a hindrance. When we spoke on forgiveness in the winter seasons, I believe it was, we were talking about forgiveness and what was it like to forgive. And they said, yeah, we get what forgiveness is about, but pretty much don't do anything that's really going to require forgiveness. So they were intentional in wanting to be a help to their spouse versus being a hindrance. And that was very refreshing to me to witness them during the filming, because they just came in there in a healthy state in their relation to how they interacted with each other. What's your takeaway from them?
I totally agree. Even from the beginning, like from the time they met, I just loved the intentionality Mr. Walton had about pursuing her, right? Forget about how she was acting, forget about the attitude. He took a step back and was like, there's something more to this woman, right? Let me not just judge her based off of the surface. Let me dig a little deeper. And I appreciated that, especially as a man in pursuit of a woman, taking the time to do that. So he showed qualities of patience, which is critical, I would think, for marriage, right? And then, like you said, just their intentionality of going into the marriage, being purposeful about their role of support toward one another.
Yes.
Because what they had to deal with, dealing with sickness, which is definitely an area of passion for me, obviously, as you said. It was so inspiring, I think is a good word, to hear how they not only were victorious going through those seasons, but were transparent about their struggle in it.
Yeah.
Right? And how the support of one another um, was so key, was so important, because sickness, finances, those are two top things that can ruin a marriage, right? Because they're so trying, they're so stressful. So marriage in and of itself is work, but when you have to deal with battling sickness, you yourself are already irritable,
Yes.
struggling with the pain of the sickness, the frustration of the sickness, the emotional wear it takes on you with dealing with, especially with Mrs. Walton, when she talked about how she didn't want to admit that she was dealing with this. She tried to avoid it because she didn't want to have to deal with how it would impact her husband, how anyone would have to deal with her, not being open to receive the help, right? Because she was used to being the help.
Exactly. So it's
I
like reverse roles there.
Yeah, I thought that was so powerful. There was something that she said was about confronting fears, right? I think that's something that we don't do. We don't confront things in our own lives. So we can confront the other, like, and what they need to improve and what they need to do. And quite a few couples admitted this, right? But they talked about confronting the things within themselves. And I thought that was powerful. And for him, when he talked about having to put away childish things and ways to grow in this situation, I thought it was just powerful.
So we have the Bells, Yolanda and Johnny Bells. What can I say? Well, I personally know Yolanda. She's been that's my college sister. I've known her since '92. But to see them in this light was so beautiful, so endearing, so hopeful, in that they refused to put, what did Johnny say? He refused to take the rose-colored glasses off, in that he's, again, intentionally choosing to remain in peace mode in his marriage. He says, yes, bumps and bruises may come, little hills and things will come, but we're going to bring it to the table, address it at that moment, and handle it. He's like, I just need to see her and I'm good. When I see her, I see the sun. Like, there's no issues for him. And I think in his last episode in the Dew season, I know I'm going to mess up the quote, but he basically said, when you've lost so many times, when you found someone, or when you're in a situation, I apologize, everyone, I'm hearing some feedback. But he said that when you've lost so much, when you come to a space of happiness, you don't realize that until you've lost.
Yeah.
And what I got from that was, you know what? Don't sweat the small stuff.
That's good.
Things are going to come, but you know what? It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And Yolanda's perspective that I got was, I just want to find someone that loved me how I wanted to be loved. That also just want to love. It was just so simple for them. It's just so simple for them. And it was very refreshing, because there are individuals who choose to live in peace. But then you also have to realize that there are some that chaos and drama and toxicity is the norm. So that's all that they know. They came from that. They said, I'm done with that. I choose peace. And they intentionally keep that woven in their marriage. That blessed me.
Yeah. Yeah. To see the passion between the two of them, right? It was just amazing, right? And like you said, for her to say that she found someone to love her, or she was found by someone to love her the way she needs to be loved, she got that. Like, to see him love on her was like ridiculous, right? It was just like amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, like they need their own Lifetime love story. The good one, not the crazy movie, the Lifetime, but
right.
I mean, because the way he loves on her, I loved that quote about him keeping the rose-colored glasses on. I've never heard that before in my life. It was always they come off. It was always they come off, right? The reality of challenges, but his perspective on that, I can receive it. Others might say, "Oh, he's not being honest." I believe he was truly being honest because it was about him being intentional to carry their spring and summer seasons throughout, right?
You know it was authentic because he also said, yes, stuff is going to come. Exactly. But you know what? Choose your battles.
Choose. It's a choice. Love is a choice. It's not a feeling. It's not the honeymoon.
Love is an action word.
That's the cherry on top, right?
I need a t-shirt. Love is an action word, or a baseball cap.
Love is an action word. There you
go. Love
is
an action word.
Love is an action word. God is love, right? So that means he loves us unconditionally. That means that's how we are supposed to love others. And our inadequacies, our shortcomings does not dwindle the amount of love God has for us. Right? Because he loved us before we got better.
Come on. Yeah.
Before we became good. Right? So we're supposed to love each other in the same way. Love God and love each other using God's example. Come on, right. Mama B. Yes. Amen. Then it's regardless to what struggles we that come our way, regardless to, illnesses and challenges, whether we make mistakes, whether we fall short on managing our finances, whatever mistakes we make, as long as we are genuinely taking action because of our love to correct ourselves, to look at ourselves in the mirror. That was also said by the couples. It speaks volumes to his what's the word I'm looking for? His statement of belief, if you will, right? About keeping rose glasses on. I just thought that was just so
powerful. How powerful for each other, knowing how intentional they are. Johnny had said in one of the seasons that he's the security for Yolanda. And he's the power. That's what he said. Right?
Come on, you about to make this? Yes, that's
he was the power.
When he used that analogy of the plane taking off. That's when he said that. Yes. Oh my goodness. Come on.
I got the goosies. Just by those small, intentional ways of being, what that does for each other. She feels secure. She feels his presence, be it when he's there with her or when she's away on travel that she spoke about. And when he's pouring into her that way, being her rock and her support, how she's able to pour into him now.
Come on.
And it was just so much said without them speaking. You can just cut it with a knife. You can just feel it.
Yes.
The bells. And then we have the Joneses, Torres and Crystal. Goodness gracious. This was a couple for me that I appreciated their candidness of expressing issues, expressing how they intentionally um, elected to keep God in the center, realizing that they needed God to help them get over what was going on with them. One of the things I thought that was just so beautiful, because I'm a visual person. So as Crystal was explaining and reminiscing on when she was in a dark space in the relationship, how she prayed for him at night. And how she would put her hands on him and just pray. And she said she just prayed the hell out of him. Literally. We want someone in our life that has our back.
Yeah.
When we don't even know that they have our back.
Yeah.
You want someone that's going to pray for you, that's going to cover you and protect you, even when you're in a dark space. And her, as his wife, said, you know what? I'm going to do that in this moment. Mm-hmm. I thought that was powerful. And it was just a demonstration on them being a young couple and her doing that in that young state. And how I thought it was beautiful of them both sharing that the importance of having a prayer circle, accountability partners, accountability couples that call them out on their stuff, and then being open and receptive to that. I can go on and on for the Joneses, because they did speak a lot about the healing and her acknowledging that season of their life. And she's just so glad that she's not that person. And she's just so much happier now, even more so than in the courtship stages.
Yeah.
And beautiful in how they are aware that their purpose as a couple is for other couples and for teens, and that they had to go through their challenges in order and to come out of those challenges to be able to speak effectively in the lives of others. I thought that was very impactful as well. And what you got?
All those, you taking all my notes? All those things.
And people, we purposely did not discuss what we were going to talk about.
Powerful. Those
That's good.
Definitely powerful points, and I can expound on those.
Please do.
But just to start back, like you said, just the Mrs. Jones, like I loved her personality. She was very funny to me. I did love the realness, right? I love how their
absolutely
opposite personalities complement one another. Him, the silent, strong personality, and her, the vibrant, bubbly personality. And how they just come together as a strong unit. And they were a perfect example for couples going through those times when they're ready to give up on this thing called marriage. And I loved when you talked about them and their accountability persons, right? Which was so good. She said that, people like to talk about not having too many people in your marriage. But I love how he came back and said, I see it as my community. I thought that was excellent. I thought that was excellent, because it just shifts the paradigm. Yes, you do have to be selective. Yes, you don't want everybody in your business and in your marriage, because people can be the ones to break you up. But when you have the right people, those who I said who believe like you and support you and love like you love others. Yes. and love like you love others. Those are the ones you want in your community to help keep you together. I was going to say this about another couple, but we can still, for them having to go through healing emotionally, and also it was the Waltons going through healing physically.
Yeah.
Each couple needed the community, right? Sorry, I don't want to be trying to plug too much, but the Healing Network is what that's about. The Healing Network that's why it resonated with me, right? Because when we are going after healing, your network is important, right? We are not an island. What I love about the couples talking about their support to one another is God said it's not good for man to be alone, right? He needed to help me. We need each other, as Hezekiah Walker's song says, to survive, right? So I thought it was so important to show that in their relationship, talking about the Joneses again, and how they had that community of support to help them to stay together, right? To help them through this valley, their valley seasons. And, you know, her being able to take that step back instead of just being upset with him, going to God.
Mm-hmm. And lashing.
Mm. Yeah, lashing. Like she said something funny in one of the earlier episodes. She was ready to snatch the hair out.
Snatch his dress, become bald headed.
Right, but when we love somebody, when they hurt us, that's our reaction, right? Because if not, you just don't care. Just go on about your business, right? Yeah. But it brings that sometimes out of us. And that's an opportunity for us to grow in self-discipline, right? But I love how she got to the point of the paradigm shift, going to God about it, which led her to act as that supportive wife, that praying wife. Mm-hmm. I think it's Marion, I forget her name, who has that book, the Power of a Praying Wife. And she exhibited that and shared that when she prayed over him. When she said God let her to take the oil and anoint him while he was asleep, I was like, yes, come on here. And the fact that it did not disturb him. He didn't even know she did that. I thought that was amazing. And he was able to sleep soundly. So that was God. Yeah. Right? That was God. And I loved how he then said he had the opportunity to now forgive himself. Not
so that he can love her.
Forgive himself and love himself. Then love her. Come on here. I caught that. I don't even know if he realized what he was saying. But the order of that is what allowed them to get to where they are today. I'm telling you, Moni, I'm just going to interject here. We have a little commercial and just say,
don't do it. I'm not.
I am proud of you.
Let me get my pink cup because you and Melinda was trying. All right, continue. This is my pacifier from the tears. You can go on. I'm not doing that with God.
Okay, I'm not going to go too deep, but just I'm proud of you for stepping out and doing what God had laid on your heart to do. It was a leap of faith. Your works, they will prosper. What you are putting your hand to will prosper. I am proud of you. I declare and decree that this will bless many a people to reevaluate how they look at marriage, how they interact with their loved ones, right? And how they seek God in everything. I'll leave it there. I won't
I just, like I said before, my intention with this is to show all of the seasons, but ultimately to show the healing out of all of the stuff. Because there could be a couple or individual watching this, not us speaking today, but the episodes in a fall or in their winter and not knowing how am I going to be able to get out of this?
Yeah.
How do I navigate these emotions that's taking over what I know?
Yeah.
My prayer is that when they're watching these episodes, and I hope that they are able to binge watch it and would want to watch it multiple times, that it will speak to something that they're going through and it'll enable them be like, okay, I can get over this. I can get healed. No, the situation can get healed, That's my prayer with this project and the projects to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you for saying that, Nisha. I appreciate you. So we're going to go on to the Washingtons, Barry and Rena Washington. They dropped some gems on us.
Yes, ma'am.
They dropped some gems. I mean, where do I start? And I know I'm going to probably go back to them when we get to the next couple, but my goodness, I loved the thing that struck me the hardest or the deepest, like, because I just remember my reaction when they actually said it during the filming. I was like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing this when she said it, that what it did for her to hear Barry pray for her.
Girl.
Because she heard his heart's intent. Similar to what Crystal did for Torres in praying over him, he didn't know what she was doing, but what that did for him without him knowing. Mm-hmm. What I don't know, though, is when Barry was praying
now that he knows.
Right. But what I don't know is, I'm sure sometimes Barry is aware that Rena can hear him, but I'm sure there are some times when he didn't know that she was hearing him pray. Mm-hmm. But what that does for her in solidifying them as a married couple, how it helped her to hear his heart intent for their marriage. Mm-hmm. It put her in a place of then turning inwardly to see how he can be a better helpmate to him. And what she said was that in their due season episode, she realized that they complete each other's purpose. Mm-hmm. In addition to what they do for other people, as a couple, their purpose is to be there for other couples and other people. But mm-hmm. individually, they complete each other's purpose. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Barry had also mentioned something that him not really liking what he had turned into, and he realized in order for him to be better as a husband, he had to shift his situation, mm-hmm. and that propelled him to be a better husband. So just taking accountability, them being mature individually to take accountability, mm-hmm. to grow from where that place that they were in to get mm-hmm. to a better healed space. Yeah. Overall, that was my takeaway from them. Yeah. What you got, Nisha?
Powerful couple. I love those points you raised. Mm-hmm. I loved their interaction with each other. Mm-hmm. His subtle banter, if you will. I love the way she looked at him when she spoke.
Those nuances spoke volumes.
Come on. And yes, the purpose that they found, right? The purpose in their marriage that they found, mm-hmm. And how it's to be a blessing to others through their marriage. Mm-hmm. I loved how they were talking about being intentional again. They chose to stay together because mm-hmm. they believed they had destiny together. Mm-hmm. They were destined to be together. Mm-hmm. So she said it wasn't about staying together for the children or staying together for this or that, but because they loved each other. Mm-hmm. And they believed they were destined to be together. Mm-hmm. I thought was powerful because they had to make a choice. We talked about that in the beginning, making a choice to love each other, making a choice to make this work. He was another one who talked about being introspective, right? Looking at himself and how he needed to change. I think he said he had to reevaluate. He said, I had to reevaluate me. He was like, even though, he was hearing it from, he said, I had to reevaluate me. And then he said, once he did that, the purpose, talking about purpose again, that was so in alignment with that season, right? He said, then he was able to realize his purpose in the marriage.
I really want to run. I wish I had a little running meme to go across like.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that would be good. We had that.
I gotta think about that. Let me jot that down.
Come on, jot it down. Yes. I just thought that was powerful. I thought that was so powerful about.
Rena spoke about distractions because we were talking about forgiveness and distractions and how do you remain present for each other. And Rena said distractions will come. The enemy will come, but don't allow it. Don't allow the enemy to get in there.
Yeah.
And how the enemy will.
Thank
you for the clutch. And how distractions will come and the enemy will bring unnecessary distractions, but you have to be able to see it, and how the enemy can present things in your situation that has no merit.
Yeah.
But you have to be tuned in together as a unit to be able to discern that is the enemy and a distraction.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was her answer in, I believe it was Winter or Dew Season. I don't remember. They all just jumbled together at this point. But that was her response to how do you annihilate distractions when it comes. She's basically, you have to be able to identify it and discern that that's what it is. That's good. And that so many times that it has no merit, but you have to make that effort to make that decision that it is foolishness and move on from it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Those are the little foxes that get into marriages and open the door and makes cracks in marriages wider for other issues to come in and to evolve. Another interesting thing I thought that they said when he said, because she was talking about the purpose that they have, right? To be able to now minister to others as a couple, and how they were wondering. It was like they realized their purpose because people were coming to them all the time.
Yes.
And they started wondering, why do people want to come to us? And the revelation was that they are transparent. Like they're real when they give it to people. And I love when he said that people question perfection.
Yes.
I'm about to knock.
Yeah, you about to.
Girl, bust up.
But that's facts. That's true.
People question perfection. I thought that was powerful. And it is so true. Like you said, it is so true. Now, does that mean we don't strive for perfection? No, right? But that just means that that's the epitome of, or the benefit of transparency. And people are looking for that, whether it is advice from a couple who's already going through marriage, or advice from a leader, advice from a minister, a teacher. People need transparency because they want to know, do you understand what I'm going through?
It's like this. Every time when you see me, you're like, hey, I'm good. Everything is great. I'm be like, okay, you just too. Everything can't just be that way. Be like, I'm good, but I'm struggling. You know, there's a difference in that response.
Yeah.
But if you always looking like the Stepford wife, like, yes, I'm great. They'd be like, okay, that's you just too perfect.
Yeah, something
Something
going on.
Something going
on in there.
Yeah.
Yes, love them. Powerful.
And then we have the Baldwins.
My God.
The blueprint for this project.
Girl, the glue.
The glue. When I tell you the pandemonium on set from second 2, when she said, because her voice was just so velvety, like the glue.
Yeah. Listen, I did like this, like, oh shoot, wait a minute.
Let me get situated. Okay, let me look. Let me get my notes.
Girl, immediately I was like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. We about to get it dropped right here.
And she says the glue. And after she said the glue, which was God, he is this and he is this. And
girl,
the whole crew behind me was
you had to
and I turned, I was like, I don't. And they were like, oh, girl, I'm so sorry.
That was hard not to, because that was a bust up of all bust ups. Mama B.
They wasn't expecting it because, mom was just, she was just sitting, her and dad was just sitting and waiting and then, and just quiet and just waiting. And they were the first couple that was filmed from the whole project. And then hit, action. Here we go. Filming, quiet on the set. And then, she says, okay, she talks to dad. So, I can go. He's like, yeah, sure, go.
With that too.
She goes, the glue. And all you heard was the chairs rustling in the back, like them getting situated, like, and then she said, G. And then it was just like, I think I had to cut after that one because there was commotion.
Girl.
Yeah.
Mama B, you preached that thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
The takeaways that I have from them and me being their daughter, me seeing them all the years of my life, it was like I had to have them on this project because my upbringing was something to be admired. Not boasting at all, but when you have a couple that has remained together all of those years, yes, ups, downs, because that's life, things happen. But when you were raised in a situation that was a healthy situation, an edifying situation, a woman who was there for her man through everything, and a man who was there to support his whole family, it was just a ball of healthiness. Yeah. I had to have them on this project, not knowing. I kind of knew how she was going to answer, but I didn't know how it was going to really translate. Mm-hmm. But other people needed to see that. Mm-hmm. That yes, you are a product, Simone, of healthiness, a product of a couple who was intentional with each other your entire life. That's all that I know. Yeah. And the hope that other people can witness just a glimpse of what I had my whole 49 years. Yeah. That if you come from a history of toxicity, you don't have to. That you can see a couple that has been in the game for 53 years still loving on each other, still looking at each other like it's year one. That the hope that there are people out here that live that way. And to put them on display that way for people to witness them, it was just to hear how my friends and the feedback that I'm getting from them is just task accomplished. Mm-hmm. Aside from my good girlfriend Melinda, we did a live last week. She said she almost threw her laptop out the window when mom got to the E for ecstasy. She was like,
girl.
And her perspective was this. Yes, be all spiritual. Yes, do all of, yes, the G, the L, the U, all that's great. But the E, ecstasy, yes. We're flesh and blood people who love each other.
Big part. Important part.
Yeah, we pray together. I pray for you. I like you. I understand you. All of that stuff. God is in the midst. But I also have to be there for my person. And even though we're at year 51, not year one, we just have to shift, which mom said a GPS, and shift how we arrive at the destination. My girl Melinda said, Simone, that blessed me. Because people need to be like, yes, you can be all the spiritual aspect of a marriage. But if you don't keep what mom said, the home fire is burning. Yes, we're not hanging off of the chandeliers anymore. We may just be knocking at the light switch, but you're doing something, Beverly and Earl. Right?
Girl.
What you got for the Baldwin?
Right. You said it. I mean, that was the perfect way to wrap up this episode. They just brought it all together. Just her talking about the L, she brought it from watch out for real, mom. Oh, watch out there now. Let me tell you, that ecstasy was just like, oh my
Hey,
God.
Tiffany, thank you for joining.
She brought it from the beginning to the end in just the one line, the second part of the glue, which was the like and the love, the duality of the L, because it started out with liking each other and it grew to loving each other.
Absolutely.
Which carried them through. I thought that was excellent. Girl, when she broke down the different components and names of God that carries, you talk about God being at the center of a marriage. He is that third strand, that people talk about, that main strand that holds the three cords together. Being the provider, being the healer. And what else did she say? She said,
come on.
She first said shalom. Oh, girl, I'm sorry.
I need to. I'm going to get better with this StreamYard because I'm going to have to put the little boy because I'm going to need him in there. The little boy on the shopping cart that caught the spirit. Yeah, I know him.
There's a video, y'all, going around on these internet streets with this little boy in the supermarket with his mom who just loved the Lord. And I mean, he must have been, what, 5?
Yeah, he's like, got to praise him. And he in the shopping cart going, oh!
Just going off, hollering, praise the Lord, shaking his little feet. It's hilarious. Every time we be like, oh! We think of him. Shalom. That word shalom encompasses all those things. Peace of mind, peace in body, peace in spirit. It's that wholeness in God, right? She started off with that. And I think that is so, so key. Numero uno. Provision. We talked about this earlier. What causes problems in marriages? Finances, just the man not being able to be a provider, right? Just knowing that when God is there, provision is met, right? He'll do it divinely and he'll do it through the provider, through the person, right? And then that Rapha, that healer, God the healer, and we had all of those different aspects in the different couples addressed.
Correct.
Do you see the commonality of that divine connection between her analogy of glue, their analogy of glue, Pop Baldwin with his strong interjections and agreements here and there. I just loved it. I loved her honoring him and looking to him like, so I can, looking to his lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go into a whole nother session about that.
Let's do that. Continue, madam.
I mean, that taught us. You know how they say action speaks louder than words sometimes, even though words are most powerful. So I don't know how accurate that statement is, but there is truth to that. And it's your actions speak. And they show the honor that she has towards husband and how he's that strong presence and covering. I looking at them, it looks like he was just covering her.
His presence, right?
His presence. And just being in agreement. They were able to flow with one another. I thought that was powerful. But that ecstasy, boy, I tell you, that was just so, because I didn't expect that, right? It just didn't, I don't know. Because you don't know what each letter was going to be. And to end with that was powerful. Yes, I was cracking up. She was like, we ain't hanging off the chandeliers and all that. But what was powerful about that, which is what you said, is that it doesn't matter the stage of life. That part does not end. The misconception that dwindles is a lie from the pit of hell. Okay?
And the truth ain't in
Truth
it.
ain't, that's a lie from the devil, and the truth ain't it. Okay? That was a lie. He's a lie. And I thought that was so powerful. That is also another part of marriage that is important, that holds marriage together. Because without that, you have problems.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, the marriage dwindles.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's all together. It is intimacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which is also a spiritual act. So it ain't leaving the spiritual out. The ecstasy is a spiritual act.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on here. It all it all works together.
Right.
So the Baldwins were powerful. I wanted more from them. I wanted more. I'm just gonna be honest. I wanted more, Mama B. I wanted but so appreciated them and their wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I there's one for the books, season 1. I'm ready for season 2. That's gonna be great too. Should I tell the people what
Let
season
them
2
know
is
what's
gonna be
coming.
about?
This is the advertisement for what's coming up.
Okay, so season 1 was regular couples. Season 2 is going to be focusing on but I got frozen in my thought. Extended families, blended families. That's season 2. I had like a brain freeze because I was thinking about something else. So that's season 2 for 5 Seasons of Love. We're going to start the casting for that in November. That will come out again next summer. Well, next fall, but we'll film that in the summer. But the next docuseries that will come out in the spring will be 5 Seasons of Waiting, and that will highlight the singles, and they will talk about their experiences and how they navigate their seasons of singleness. So casting is currently going on now. The cast is wrapping up to look beautifully full.
Nice.
And we start shooting that in December. We're going to film December through March. And that will drop in April of 2022. So, we have things going on. I'm excited. God has just put on my heart to do life stories, not reality TV, but life stories in the form of docuseries like this. So I'm being obedient and here for the journey, here for the ride, and just excited and happy and so appreciative for everyone who's allowing me to share in this way and take their time on the weekends and watch the episodes and chime in and share and comment and comment on the lives and comment. So all of that is just a huge gratitude from me to everybody. So I'm super appreciative of you, Mynesha, for being there from ground zero, ground -100, when I was brainstorming the project and just giving your wisdom and your thoughts. I appreciate you and love you for being that person for me. And just gonna keep it going, just continue the work that God wants me to do. So
what's powerful about that, the order of the episodes, starting with the marriage, is for those who are waiting, they have something to look to. I think that's powerful. They have something to be inspired by while they're waiting.
That was the hope. That was the desire, that it would be a weekly inspiration for them. a weekly inspiration. I remember like the first couple of episodes, I would get the feedback of, oh, I need more. I need more. I need more from summer. Or I need more from fall. So my lesson, probably longer episodes in the coming seasons. There'll probably be, more content to give. Maybe, I don't know. Don't want to just overpower them, but I am taking the notes, taking the comments, taking the notes to heart. So
what the people need.
I want to give them what they want. I want to give the people what they want.
Nice. Well, congratulations on
Season 1. I need to get a horn. There's an actual sound. So thank you, Nisha.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you coming on. And everyone, again, this is her book, The Healing Network. I will post a separate post on my page for this book. It's called The Healing Network from Mynesha J. Rogers. You're able to access this book on all streaming sites for purchasing, and I'll put all the details for you, and her website as well. And Nisha, I love you, and I will speak with you soon.
Bye, everyone.
All right, everyone. My name is Simone Baldwin again, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Producers Corner. Again, I appreciate everyone who watched and supported this season. Be sure to check my website at SimoneLBaldwin.com. Also check Simone Baldwin Productions on YouTube for upcoming projects, as well as the website, and on all social media outlets. That's Facebook and Instagram. Simone Baldwin Productions. Everyone have a great evening, a wonderful weekend. Stay intentional, remain prosperous, and I love you.